Not yet. Just getting set up.
Okay.
Okay, so the link for the Cloud9. Let me see if I can see it. It starts with IDE. All right, found it. Should be there in a second.
Okay. Somehow my Cloud9 is not loading up, so I'm trying to refresh and see if it works. Okay. So, are you inside the Cloud9 IDE?
Yep.
Okay. So, you start as a driver.
All right, I have the timer going.
And we were, okay, cool. So we were working aspect test for the controller methods.
Right.
So let me try to find. Okay, so I'm in the movie underscore controllers underscore spec.rb.
Okay. Yeah, I'm there.
It's still okay. So we wanted to have two tests, two specs. One was for the case when the director exists for the movie has
Yeah.
a director, and the other one in the case for where the movie doesn't have a director.
Yeah. So I rewatched the lectures, and I think I think you were asking this last time actually, because what we're supposed to do in the controller is just worry about or not worry about whether we have a director or not. That's supposed to be the logic in the model.
Yeah, so in the assignment, it says that it's up to us to decide whether we want to handle it in the model or in the controller or in the model.
Oh, it says that. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, let me just bring that up.
So we want to implement this logic.
Yeah, the other thing also is that the way that it's going to assess the assignment is it's going to check for C0 coverage, which is just checking each method. So as long as we have a test for each method, that should be enough. So
Okay.
I think for the model or for the controller, I mean, it might be easier if we just checked for the director for the existence of the director in the model instead of the controller, because in the controller what we should probably do instead is the same way that it was done in the lecture, just to check to see if the call to the controller is made, and to check to check to see if that function is being called. I mean, for the model function. And
but then again, we'll need to implement that SAT path test in the model as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can just do that there.
And in user's perspective, how would the application work? Like the controller would call out to the method in the model with the movie, and the model would reply with a nil value, let's say a nil value, and what does the user get to see in that case? Should the user see some error message, or
So the user should probably just get, like we discussed, the like the flash notice or something that says that there's no director.
Mhm. And
But
so this thing would be done by the controller, right?
yeah,
Like setting the flash variable, and whatever view is being rendered, that would be handled by the controller
yeah,
method.
that's true. Yeah,
So should not we at least have to add test for these behaviors?
yeah. Actually, yeah, I think you're right.
Hmm. So in that way, even if we decide that the movie doesn't have a director inside the controller, it doesn't really matter whether the controller decides or or the model decides if the movie doesn't have a director. At the end, we want to have the flash message set to
Yeah,
some string.
right. Yeah, so I mean, like I'm before we start worrying about all of that stuff, though, I think uh, because that's something that comes later, right? Whether a director is there or not. I
Right.
think what we worry about first is, uh, for instance, whether we even have that method, and whether we're even assigning a variable, and those kinds of things, right? So that's why
Okay.
I was thinking about it from that perspective.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can do that. And also, s- you wanted to finish up the first test. Like, I'm not sure about the syntax on how it should be implemented.
Yeah, actually, I think this would have to be a post, but in our route, you know how it works in the route. Like if we have, because in our route we had get the same director path, and that mouse to the same director controller, right? Does it matter if we do a post? Is it still gonna
Uh,
work?
Actually, the matter of get versus post is it's like what kind of work are you doing, and most of the times, if you are doing something which does not change anything, like does not insert a new record or does not update a new record in your database, you should use get. Like it's the philosophy defined by the HTTP verbs.
Okay. So in this case, because we're doing a query basically, so we use get for
Yeah,
this. Okay.
yeah, I think so. So I think the example in the lecture described a post request, but I think we can achieve the same kind of behavior with the get request as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So so there's no parameter with the get, right? Or is there?
Sorry.
Or actually, I think there's supposed to be a parameter with the get, right? We have to, because we're trying to search for a particular director.
Yeah.
With the post,
So, hmm. So let me try to see how it behaves in the view. Maybe we can identify something from that.
okay.
Um, I've just .html.haml,
Yeah.
and if you see the syntax we used in haml, is it possible to have the same kind of syntax uh, in our spec as well?
You mean the way that we use that helper, that path helper?
Yep. Yep.
I'm not sure. I think it should be okay.
Mm-hmm. Um,
But we're not um actually I don't know. I think why don't we check the docs actually for the rspec rails get method. I think actually the first argument is supposed to be the path and the second argument is the parameter.
okay. So I guess I got an example
Okay.
of a get. So I guess we can just hard code the ID of the movie, or we can just see what kind of URL is being used and just hardcode that in our test.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wrote
So
something, but it's not showing up in your IDE.
in my IDE, on which file?
The movie controller spec.
Mm, okay.
Let me try reopening it. Or well, let me know if this is
Mm,
weird.
yeah, I see
Okay.
it now.
All right. So we want to
Okay.
hard code this.
So yeah, I was just trying to launch the application.
Okay.
I think my internet connection is a bit slow today.
Yeah.
I have to be careful of what I type. Remember the syntax.
Yeah. Rails S and then dash B IP.
Dash p
And,
port.
yeah, but not. I mean, not the words and not the letters and. So we're checking to see what path we get in the when we go to the show page.
Right.
Actually,
So we have this movie, and So the path is something like movies slash the movie ID slash same director.
Where is the? How's that gonna work if there's no director name in the path?
Um, it actually doesn't need the director name. The model needs to find out the director name of this movie and then query the database to find the other movies with the same director. So even if I pass the ID, it's possible
Oh,
for either the controller or the model to find out the director name from
right.
here.
I see. Okay. So we have movies, ID, and then same director.
Yep.
And I don't know how I'm gonna hard code that. Should I just
Uh,
use one for ID
mm,
now?
I think we can write one. Yep. Because we are also hard coding the director name as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Let's try
So
running that.
what we are okay. So I'll just open a new shell.
But oh, time to switch. Okay.
Actually, we don't need to bother about switching.
Oh right. Yeah. True. We should probably do it anyway though, just to keep the flow.
Okay, fine. So I'm the driver, and I'll just run aspect test and
Yeah.
see what happens.
I'm just thinking actually, like, I think that method probably expects a post because because um, the controller, like, I think that's probably how the way the RSpec method is written. Oh, what does it say in the error? Does not implement. Okay, yeah, so that's expected
But why is it expected?
because we need to mock this movie class.
Okay, yep. And how do we do that?
That's a good question.
I don't really remember. Maybe if you can find out the gist you have.
Yeah, it's not in the gist. That was kind of one of the. Yeah, so there's two things we could do. We could just put in the method in the model, or we could stub it out, mock it. And so I'm just looking at the forums. I remember seeing there was a post in the forums about this, but and there's a
I think this was the part where in the lecture it was described as a seam.
yeah. Basically, like the way that the code was presented in the lecture, and the book even, it doesn't work like that anymore. I think they changed Rails
Okay,
or something, and they haven't updated that.
very good.
Uh, just looking for the. Okay, here it is. I'm just gonna paste it
Where?
in the chat. I'm just gonna do that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so You see where it says movie class, you have to write class double and the class name.
Mm-hmm. So it should be inside the it method, it block,
Yeah,
and then movie over here, or we say, okay,
yeah, we said movie class in the expect method.
okay, so it matches up with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if we
No, so you
run
have to
it,
put the movie, like the object that you just assigned, you have to put that in the expect method, movie class.
the movie class.
Yeah.
Okay. It says no route matches.
Yeah, okay, so that means that our route is,
Hmm. So I think we can look at how we have implemented it in the routes, and where do I find the routes? So maybe we can use this. But then how does, you know, okay, so I think maybe for now we can omit the parameter for the method. Like we can just say expect movie class will receive search by director, and don't and not mention the parameter right now.
okay. So we also have a suggestion about adding a route, adding a new route to, to see if it fails.
We already added new route,
Oh, you did?
uh,
Oh, you mean the, yeah, yeah, okay.
but it still says no route matches.
Yeah, let's, do you think it's because of the expect to receive? Like, what is receive doing exactly?
It's failing on the get
Oh, it's
URL
failing. Yeah, it's failing on the
line.
get. Right, right, right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it should be movie, right? Can you do a rip?
It, it should be movie.
Maybe I don't know. Let's. Why don't we do a rip? Oh, it's no, it's movies. You're right.
Uh,
That's weird. Do you think it has to be like the whole URL for some reason? No.
no, definitely not. Mm. It says no route matches, and it sees the controller movies, and it says the action
Oh yeah, that's
is
weird. That
movie
should
slash.
yeah, the action should be just in director.
Mhm. So, do you
What
think
hap
we should
what happens if we
we
just do
should
movie
remove
slash?
this?
Yeah.
Let's
Hmm.
try this out.
Well, the get's gonna work now, but that's probably not what we want because there's gonna be no parameter.
No, it still complains.
Action, same director.
I guess we didn't save the controller method. Nope. Um, should I try to Google the error message?
Yeah, I'll also do that.
Hmm.
The same director wasn't working, right?
Nope. So I think you were right about, we have to define the parameter also as well.
How do you do that?
So I guess we I guess that's how the Stack Overflow example shows it to be.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go ahead and try to run it. Just try to make sure that we get rid of the error.
Okay.
No, Hmm. Uh, what happens when if you do rake routes?
You get, well, I just see get movies ID same director in the pattern.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, where did,
Maybe we should uh, we should define it in a different way than we're doing right now. Just trying out all the syntaxes.
yeah, no, switch after this.
It's time to switch.
Yeah.
Not routes. Hmm. Okay, so we have a different error message than this
Oh,
time.
what's this?
Says missing template.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? Oh, missing template. Okay, so
It
that's
says missing. Yeah, so I think we can just create a new template
yeah.
like
Okay, so
same director
views
dot html.
in movies, right?
Yep.
Am I doing it? Okay, you
Uh,
did it.
okay, I'll just create the file for you.
Okay.
So now if I'll just run our spec again
Yeah,
because
sure.
of the scrolling issue.
Yeah, this should be fine.
It should not be fine because we are not really calling the model method.
Oh yeah, yeah, we have nothing in the controller, right?
Yeah, so I think we are now failing correctly.
Okay.
It says that expected one time with any arguments and received zero times with any arguments.
Okay, so what's the name of the method?
The name
Is
method,
it find search by
it's
direct?
search by director. Yep. So we need to call search by director from within the controller method.
And what parameter does it have?
Um, right now we are not sending any parameter, but we'll take care of that later. Maybe just call it.
Okay.
Okay. And if I return our spec, our test should pass now. Yep, it
Wow.
passes correctly.
Okay.
Okay, so now maybe we can create a dummy movie object.
We can create what? Should we
A
try? Should
dummy
we
movie object.
in another 8 block?
Um, I don't know. Do you think we should create a dummy movie object and use that dummy for testing, or we can just leave it like this?
I think we can leave it like this because wouldn't that isn't that something you want to do in the model?
Yeah, you're right.
For this, maybe we can. Well, we could try with a parameter, or we could just do another test for say if it's gonna render something.
Um, okay,
Or actually,
but I think we can do that test. No,
sorry.
yeah, you're right. So we verified that it should call method from the model, and we can verify that it should render the same director template.
Actually, this
I
part's probably the same, right?
mhm.
We can, I guess, factor that out later. Um, for rendering, we could do expect response.
Mhm.
Actually, I need to get as well, right? So that's expect response to render template. Um, what's the name of the template?
It's same underscore director.
Okay.
Okay, uh, I'll run it again. Both of them are fine.
So I guess we already had that. We already created that file.
Yep, right. So, do you think we should now try to write a negative test, like when it the movie doesn't have a director?
Sure. So describe movie does not have a director. Whoa, not this. It should.
And it should set a flash message. And what template should it render?
I think. Hmm,
I
it should
think,
render probably the show template or
yeah,
the index.
I think show template would be fine. Like you just redirect to the same.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, can we refactor that previous part out first, or should we do that later? Since we have it
Okay.
repeated.
Yeah. So I guess it might be possible to combine these two, or maybe extract out the common parts before calling the before the it block.
Yeah, that whole it block is actually inside the second one. So, I mean, that would need like another nesting with right?
Mm,
Like, I mean, it's only going to render, uh, actually,
you
how
know,
does that work?
we can first of all get rid of the comments, like we have some unnecessary commented out code, and then in the next test we don't need to check the expect movie class to receive search by director.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So we
So
can take,
if you see, we just have one line of code which is duplicated.
you're right. Okay,
Okay.
so should we try that?
Yep.
Just make sure I'm, oh
Okay.
no.
Uh, it says undefined local variable
Oh, okay.
movie class.
Yeah, so this should be an instance variable.
Mhm. And okay,
Oh,
so
is there another error?
I'm not sure.
I mean, these, I don't know what the pending, do you remember how the pending thing works?
Um, it's
Can you
still
imagine?
complaining about.
Oh, it's still complaining about the movie thing?
It says no. It says received unexpected message searched by director with no arguments, and the class is class double movie. So it's complaining about that we didn't have removed the expect movie class to receive search by director in the second test, and it's
Yeah.
complaining that we did not expect to receive any method call, but we did expect we did. So maybe I guess we should just combine these two tests and just have one test.
Okay.
If you see the error message, do you see the error message in my screen?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to see because sometimes it's a bit blurry, but I see it now. So class double movie received unexpected message. Oh,
Yeah. So it's complaining about that we didn't expect any any message to be received, but we got one. So essentially, we'll have to repeat this expect block in the second one. So why don't we just write one test?
yeah. So it should call some method from the model and render the same director template, right?
Yep, looks fine to me.
So would that do it? Oh wait, like that, right?
Yep.
Oh, and I need to
We
fix this.
okay. We could have also left out the before each because test later down in the future we'll need to put it in the before each block anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says three examples, zero failures.
Okay.
So one is this one in the positive case, and two pen for the when the movie doesn't have a director.
Yeah. Okay. So I think well, should set a flash message. We can use the assigns thing to figure that one out, right?
Yep, and also I guess we'll essentially need to combine these two tests in a single one, just like what we did for this one.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not sure when we get to that we'll know. Okay,
All right.
so right now we have some bit of test and absolutely no bit of code right here. So do you think we should write some application code?
Don't we need a feeling test first?
Mm,
Okay, it's time to switch.
okay. Yes, so we need to fail the test, but uh,
Like,
okay.
I
So
mean,
yep.
for we should maybe do the render show template first because that'll be easier, right? Oh wait, no. Yeah, how would we do that? Because we can't. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Mm,
Because we don't really know what the. Actually, let's just write the test for the render template. And for flash message, we'll just check to see if the flash hash is being assigned, right?
mhm. Or maybe what we can do is like we can add the parameter back.
Which parameter?
Like we remove this over here. Sorry,
Oh yeah,
over
okay.
here we remove the parameter and we can add it back, and then
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
we
ideally we should create a movie object, dummy object, and use that object for these things. Like we have the ID as hard coded. We'll have also the parameter hard coded. Rather than doing that, we can create a dummy movie object and use that object uh,
Yep, but
to
like, I mean, that would be in the movie,
model
in the model,
method.
right? Yeah. Like
Uh,
I mean, after we're done with this, we can just start working on the model tests,
mhm.
or we could start working on the model tests now and finish these other tests after,
Okay, so
because
let's
we
move on to the model.
okay. So I think you have to create a folder for models the same way we made one for controllers underneath spec.
Mhm. Is a file name correct?
Um, I think it's just going to be movie spec, movie underscore spec.
Okay. And we'll almost do everything from here.
Yeah.
So just describe movies.
Yeah.
And what are the two cases?
So we have. Actually, I'm not sure.
The assignment says that it should find movies by the same director and it should not find movies by different directors.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So it,
So I think that would be our two it cases, right?
sorry?
Would that be our two it cases? Two it cases?
Uh, yeah, you're right. So I'll just call the describe block as movies,
Okay.
and the first one would be it finds movies with the same director,
Right.
and the other one would be just the opposite. And this one.
Okay. So it finds movies with the same director.
Okay.
How would how would we test that? So I think you were
Uh,
talking about making
I
an
guess
object,
you're
like
making a
using
dummy object.
yeah, using I think. Let me check the docs for Factory Girl. I don't suppose you know the syntax for doing that. Do
Mm-hmm.
we have it in our gem file, Factory Girl?
Do you have a what?
Do we have Factory Girl in our gem file?
Mm, nope.
Oh, okay. We should probably add that in. If you want to use Factory Girl.
Yeah, definitely. So do I add it in the test group?
Yeah, it's just called
Um,
Factory underscore girl underscore rails.
okay. So I'll say factory underscore girls underscore
Underscore
rails,
rails. Yeah,
and that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah, we can just do bundle install. What happened? Did I give you the wrong name?
I guess so.
What's the name? Oh, I think we have to do gem install factory bureau first.
Oh, yeah. But it should fetch.
Yeah, I thought
It
it.
should fetch. The.
Yeah, that's weird.
Let me try to find.
I'm on the page, the GitHub page.
Mhm.
It's a pretty good movie. Got Sienna
uh,
Miller.
it says factory underscore girl.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe I'm looking at a. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, sorry.
The the movie.
No, I was. There's another repository that's factory underscore girl underscore rails. I was just looking at the wrong repository.
Okay. Okay. Are you sure I'm not? It's not me who is looking at the wrong repository.
I'm not sure because I don't see a factory girl in.
Yeah, you were right. It's factory girl rails.
Hmm.
And now if we do bundle install. Yep.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, so factory girl is installed.
So now I think. Now what?
Just give me a second.
Sure.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay. So we have to define a factory. I pasted a link in the chat.
Okay.
And if you follow the syntax and where it says define the factory, actually, I'm not sure what file. Do you know what file that this is supposed to be in? Where you're supposed to define the factory?
Okay. So I guess it's somewhere in the spec folder.
Hmm.
Okay, but we don't have anything in our spec folder. There's a spec helper, and it says
So we need a new folder. Yeah, I think we need a factories
no.
folder under spec. The same way we had
Um,
controllers. movies in the factories folder, and then the file is going to be called movie.rb
Okay.
because it's for the movie class.
Just define this factory inside our aspect test.
Yeah, so we're going to put this inside movie.rb, which is going to be inside the factories folder. It's under our steps.
Mm, mm,
Like if you go down, you see where you have those directories, right? Right at the bottom, it says spec slash, like the fourth one.
mhm.
Right above using factories, it says spec slash factories slash star.rb. So our star would be movie, or sorry, yeah, movie.
But it also says that factories can be defined anywhere, and also, if I remember correctly, in the lecture video, it says that the factory is defined inside the spec file.
Inside the spec file, yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, like I guess we could do it there. Um,
Mm,
so it's time to switch.
mhm. How do you want to do it?
I mean, don't you think it'd be a bit like cleaner if we had a separate like folder for it?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be cleaner. I was just trying to, do the simplest thing possible. But yeah, we can create a folder.
Okay, so I'm just gonna copy that syntax. And so should I just I'll just put it in the spec file. Where is the spec file? Oh, I didn't even open it. Um, okay, so I want to call it movie, right? I'm in the movie underscore spec file.
Right, right.
And now what?
And I guess we'll just need two properties. So one would be the ID.
Is it just um, so we're basically creating like a movie object right now, right?
Right.
So
But
ID
we
we
don't
don't
need
have
all that tree.
we don't need the ID, right? Because that's just it's like title,
Mm,
right? Or do we need ID?
it depends. What kind of input do you want for the model method? Like the controller gets the ID of the movie, and
Yeah.
the controller can call the model method with the director name as a string, or
Okay.
it can call the movie method with the movie ID.
Okay. Yeah. So ID is one. Title is. Should we
We
just use this?
don't. I think we don't need the title as well.
Okay. So
Or
We
maybe
just
maybe just give title and director is fine.
we use the same title, the same stuff from the Cucumber file, or I mean, instead of making stuff up. There were 4 movies, I think.
There were 4 movies. Okay, let me try to find out.
Yeah, because then we can just like uh, run the test on those movies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll paste it somewhere down.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, Star Wars, and director is George Lucas. Um, oh, just need that. Okay, so the second one is what's the second one?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Director is Ridley Scott.
Yep.
The ID would be 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Alien,
this is
and
empty.
it doesn't have a director.
So I guess an empty string
Yep.
or no. Okay. And the last one is TH.
Anything you want.
The director is
Director is the same as Star Wars.
alright. Okay, so I think that's it, right?
Yep. But how do we reference these movies?
So the way we call it, we have to when we're creating it, we would do like movie is equal to factorygirl.build, and then we can I don't remember actually.
Hmm.
So like I do movie is equal to factorygirl.build. Then what do I put inside?
Like, how does it figure out which movie we're talking about?
Yeah, so maybe we have to put in like the ID or something. So the ID is.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
you know what?
mm-hmm.
I think these are. Oh my God. So I don't. I think these are supposed to. They're supposed to be the default values, right? Because that's the whole
Okay.
point of using a factory. Let me just comment this out for now.
But what is the default value?
So I guess the default value when I'm building the factory, like the movie object over here,
Hmm.
right? If I don't send in any values, then it's just gonna use those default values. Like,
Okay.
like right?
Okay.
So I have to like type in everything over here. So ID, title, Star Wars, and director. Yeah, let's just try with 1 just to make sure we have this right before before typing all this out.
I'm trying to find out some example of using factory girl.
Okay. Right now, we don't even have a model, movie model, right?
Nope.
The function, the method.
Yeah. So you've got one movie, and then you need at least two movies, right?
Yeah.
And then you would say like the method should return both of them or just one of them.
So the method should return, yeah, it should return whatever movies. What was the
Hmm.
other one? Uh,
Or
what?
maybe we can expect the method to return an array of matching movies.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
So I should make an array.
yep.
Uh, do that.
Hmm. And what was the name of the method? It was search by director.
Yeah. Search by director. So how how do we call that? Or I mean, how do we? Um,
So I guess expect search by director with movie one should return movies.
search by director.
Expect search by director
Yeah.
uh, with movie one as the parameter. With movie one or the ID one.
Oh yeah. But are we sending the movie object to search by director?
We can.
But isn't it being called from the controller?
It's
The
being
active,
it's
the
being
act,
called from the but right now we have not specified any parameter in the controller, so we can just you know
what's the parameter supposed to be like? I mean, if you want to use a movie object, you mean an active record object, right?
mm, yep.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
we can do either way. We can use the ID or the movie object. Either way, it would be fine.
Okay. Um. So what would be
So
simpler?
for me, I feel that sending out a movie object as a parameter would be better
Okay.
because in that way, you have more information at the model level, maybe, or it's just easy to read and easy to understand.
Okay. So how are we gonna test for equality? Would it be possible to? Does Rails just like how is it gonna compare the objects? Is it just
Good
gonna
question.
compare ID?
Mm, mhm. I don't think it's straightforward like this.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure. Do you think we should stop now because we have already crossed more than an hour,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
we can finish the rest tomorrow.
I really don't, have any clue what we are supposed to do.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to look at factories again. I think work through some examples. I worked through some examples in the other stuff, but I didn't really look at factories properly because I wasn't sure if we were going to use these or fixtures or what.
Mhm.
But I think this, yeah, I mean, we should be able to finish it tomorrow.
Okay, okay. Let's stop here for today.
Yeah, I just have to save this file,
Okay.
controller file. Okay, spec file. All right, Shavik.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.